Hi there.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
That's great. Yeah, last week I had a little problem with the audio and I'm on a different computer today.
I was going to say it looks a little different. You're
Yeah,
sideways.
I'm sideways from my primary workstation is off to my right here. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to talk about that today. We apparently, at least on Linux, there is a problem with the latest version of Zoom. And I had updated my Zoom the previous week based on, I think, some conversation in this meeting where you guys said that, gee, there had been a new version released.
Well, there's a new version this week too. I just updated it again.
Okay.
So
now, are you running Linux or not?
Yeah.
What what distro?
Mint.
Okay, so that's
Mate desktop.
So that's basically Ubuntu with some a different desktop and so forth and so on.
It's
Meow.
there he is.
Hey there.
Yeah, it's based on Ubuntu, based on Debian.
Yeah, well, they're all descendants. That whole branch is descendants of Debian. So
but this particular machine is running Mint 19.3, and I've noticed some quirky things about Zoom on it, but usually their updates seem to fix stuff. So,
well, last week my update broke stuff, so
that happens too.
So the one I was using last week was 5.6 point something or another, and the one I'm using this week is 5.4 point something or another. And I've gone back and looked at all of the .deb files that I've downloaded to install Zoom, and they started, the first ones I installed were 5.0 something another, and apparently they're up to 5.6. And the last week in the middle of the meeting, at the break point in the meeting, I tried to download and reinstall an earlier version, and that didn't work so well. So the other thing that I've noticed is, curiously enough, which is unusual for Linux, is that in order to get the install to take, I've got to reboot the system. So apparently it's kernel dependent as well.
I have never rebooted the system.
Hi everyone.
How you doing?
Great. Today is my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
39 again, huh?
Yes, exactly.
You and Jack Penny. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Jack Penny, but he was forever 39.
Okay, good idea.
Right, Jim?
Yeah, Gail was 39 yesterday again.
Oh, yeah? Gee.
My Patty is always 21 anytime anybody asks her.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. She's not only shaved half of her years off, she's shaved half of her years plus 6.
Okay.
Hey, make sure there are no rolling pins laying around. when
Yeah,
you
I
say
know.
it.
She can hear me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with your back to the door like that, you're at risk.
Yeah. Blindsided, could get blindsided, yeah.
At least you would have 3 witnesses, okay?
True enough. But I've never had to reboot after I've installed Zoom. So you've got a
That's
quirky,
interesting.
you've got a quirky system.
Leroy, are you in Middletown or in Middle Air?
I'm actually in Middle Earth right now.
Okay, looks like.
Okay.
I knew Vicente would know what that was, what that background was. Yeah,
So your green screen's working pretty well, huh, Leroy?
Yeah,
pretty well, except for
the door.
that little
Yeah.
corner right there.
Yeah,
So I'll just hide it.
looks nice.
Yeah, I have figured out quite a bit about how the green screens work and whatever, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it
Neat.
looks very good.
Yeah, need
And
a decent image to project on it, and a decent amount of light on it. So
Huh,
it's not bad.
interesting.
There's a couple of little dark spots, but you know, not a whole lot I can do about that. I don't think.
I don't need anything in my background to put another thing.
Yeah, yours is working really well.
Yeah.
So Vicente, you don't have a green screen?
No.
You're just using one of the backgrounds behind you.
The difference between the light or something, that algorithm is doing something. And figuring out how to change. This is nothing. This is a background. This is a video background.
Okay.
Planet.
So are you using Windows or what operating system you using?
Windows.
Windows.
Is there another one? Operating system? I mean,
Windows?
a part of Windows, there is another operating system. No.
You know, Linux. You know that Linux thing?
What?
What?
This is for the Raspberry Pi only. And the internet servers.
And the
also
internet
use-
servers.
Yeah,
Ah,
about 90% of them, roughly 89%.
Yeah. For the user, is not user friendly at all.
Actually, that's not true. Depends on which screen you use it with. My wife, who's very much not techno, has been using Ubuntu with I don't know even what screen she uses. Not the Unity screen, the other one, GNOME screen.
no.
And she's been using that for 10 years, and I don't think she knows that she's not using Windows.
I think we can accustom to anything, After a while, we find all the tricks and everything. I work with the Raspberry Pi environment for a while, and I feel comfortable. But when I need some sophisticated software or simulation or something, I need to come back to Windows.
I like the tools on Linux myself.
Okay.
There's I don't know. I try to avoid Windows whenever I just avoid it.
So, Vicente, what version of Zoom are you using?
No idea. Let me check.
Now Vicente's out on a beautiful day, but it's cold out there, Vicente. Don't go outside.
Yes, it's cold.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a little snow earlier today.
This is actually my backyard, this picture.
Uh-huh.
Let me check the Zoom. Zoom. No, no
I've got
info.
5.6.1 installed.
Yeah, 5.6 is what they're, various version of 5.6 is what they're installing now. And I had terrible problems with connection. I could connect, the video worked magnificently, the audio did not. So I rolled back. I'm running 5.4 something or another right now.
Well, I
No idea of the
don't know.
version. Can you see the version in the menu somewhere?
If you down in your system tray, if you right click on the Zoom thing and go up to about, it should tell you what the
And I can go to control panel, programs.
you see the Zoom icon down in your system tray.
Yeah,
If you right click on that, there should be an about.
no, this is
It doesn't say
in this program, close Windows. No,
no. Well, there's a different there's differences between the Windows version and the
no, maybe in the panel, in the control panel, looking for
go to help and then about.
programs and features.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Zoom.
You look at what version is installed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there. Let me check Zoom name. Zoom 5.3.1.
You're
Okay,
even
so
old. You're even older.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's probably about a year, 15 months old, something like that.
I installed it in November 5th, November 5 of last year.
Okay.
Maybe the time when I downloaded. So
Interesting. Okay, well, any rate, I couldn't get 5.6 to work for me, so I rolled back to 5.4. And it seems to be working okay.
There was one version that I had that the video worked fine in the first. Remember, it worked fine in the first meeting, and then it didn't work in the second meeting, and that was all kinds of problems. I don't remember what version that was, but like the next day or 2 days later, there was an update and that fixed stuff. So apparently I was not the only one having problems.
Uh-huh. But you're using the latest as of today then, is that right?
Well, yes, sometime between last week and today, they updated it again. So
Okay.
I am using whatever the latest update is, because I just downloaded it probably a half hour before the meeting.
Okay.
So
One thing I noticed is they don't let you run two different versions. When you download and do the install, the latest,
it goes
your
away.
choice overwrites any previous version. So
Yeah.
Here's the buddy.
Pardon? What'd you say, Jim?
It's showing Gail the groundhog.
Oh, you got a groundhog?
Yeah, up under the barn.
My dad told me when I was a kid that they're quite good eating.
Groundhogs. Huh?
Hey, Ray.
Hey!
Ray's here.
hi, Ray.
What's going
Hello, everybody.
on, Mr. Ray?
Everybody straighten out.
Well, I got a few things, maybe. I didn't really get any new toys, but I played with some of the toys that I had. So that's that smart response device
Yeah.
With my logo.
with Vicente's logo. I pirated Vicente's logo.
Yeah. I have no permission. Okay.
I got it working after fighting with getting graphics to work on the stupid thing forever. Found another repository that had an updated version of the library. So there it is. There's that. And then I worked on some alternative fonts for it.
Leroy, is there backlight or not?
There is, as far as I can tell, there is no backlight.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But
Different fonts.
I did the Batman one at like 4 o'clock in the morning, so the lights were out. So I took the picture with the camera and everything. So that's why that one's dark. But I worked on getting some alternative fonts, which actually turned out okay, but I'm not happy with them yet. I got to work on it a little bit more. And then the big one is I installed a different version of Dump 1090. It starts up as a daemon. It automatically starts. It's now running on a Raspberry Pi Zero, and it creates a website, a web page, and there you go. And I am seeing planes clear up as far north as Wapakoneta and as far south as Independence, Walton area. So I've got a pretty decent coverage area. It looks like they start to drop off a little bit right around here is where I start to drop them. That is inside of Indiana, and I've seen them as far up as London, Ohio. So that's a pretty decent coverage area.
Is this real time?
Yes.
It looks kind of light traffic to me.
I would say that I am not picking up all of them because, well, many reasons. I have a deficiency picking up stuff from the south anyway. Radio signals or TV signals or anything coming from the south. I'm inside a Faraday cage, and my antenna is sitting up on top of a printer right now. So
Okay.
I think it's doing. I think for the setup that I've got, it's doing really well, but I agree. I think it could be better if I had an outdoor antenna. I think it could be a lot better if I had an outdoor antenna.
So can you post a link to that version of Dump 1090?
I already did in the forum.
Okay.
And I've got some pictures of the new Raspberry Pi set up here. See if we can do this without destroying anything.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have to unplug it. So
Cool.
I took a little piece of sticky back tape and stuck it on there. So now it's just all one unit. I actually wanted to put the Raspberry Pi on the SDR, but I didn't like how it was bending the USB connector. So
Nice.
Cool.
So I may end up 3D printing a little case to set that in so that it actually looks like something other than what it is, but I haven't done that yet.
Well, I've been using just the raw 1090, dump 1090 on a Sakura terminal, and it shows in this area, which is down closer to
Yeah, you're
the Ohio River, it shows maybe 20 or 30 at any given point in time.
but you
So-
are you're a lot closer to Lunkin too.
Oh
And
yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm on the flight path to Lincoln.
Oh, it's Odie. When the jump plane is flying and when the instructors are out teaching people from the local airport, there's a lot of traffic. I see a lot of traffic, but nobody's flying today because the weather's bad. Those are all little Cessnas. One of the neat things about this particular version, and I forget how I did it, but it also, that's the weather. I forget how I turned that on. So that's current weather maps overlaid on top of it.
So this is more than just a dump 1090. This has got the display module installed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe I did it here. Maybe that was it. That's the next rad. I can I could choose all kinds of stuff to display, but see this little plane right here?
Yeah.
I hear that guy.
Do you hear him?
Yeah,
Well, he disappeared. Okay. See
he's
this
still
big
up there.
see this big plane right here? I could click there and see how it highlighted and showed his flight path. And then it shows over here what got highlighted. And then I can still click on Flight Aware and it will tell me more about that particular flight from Lexington to Detroit. And there he is.
Mm-hmm.
See where that knucklehead in Monroe's going.
If he shows, there he is. He must not have filed a flight plan or something.
Yeah, he's just jerking around. We have some knuckleheads that fly around here.
What
common.
happened? I just went black. Oh, there.
Black.
He's still up over here. Was.
Yeah, it was my screensaver shut off.
So over here at the airport, since I'm right next to the airport,
Yeah.
we have the parachute guys going up and down all day long on some days of the week.
Yeah,
yeah.
and when that happens, you can see them on this dump 1090. I mean, they're hundreds of flights.
But we also have aerobatics guys up here.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about stupid knuckleheads. Oh my God. Every once in a while, I'm wondering, they're not going to land in my backyard. They're going to crash in my backyard.
As long as it's your backyard, it's okay. It's in your house.
At the river, in the field, whatever.
You're like right on the end of the sod runway.
Yeah.
They'll just run right through the sod and right through that quarry field and right into the back of your building. No problem.
Yep.
And then raking more stuff in the city of Middletown because
They'll be paying for it.
why not?
I don't know if you're making fun of me or what.
Not why.
No, no, no.
Well, you know. What's going on, Ray? Anything new?
Yeah, I have some morbid news. My mother-in-law died.
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that.
She was 79 years old, something like that. She had a stroke several years ago, like 5 years ago. It's kind of been going downhill, but like 3 weeks ago, she had like a minor stroke, or little strokes or whatever the heck. And they took her to the hospital, and a couple days later, somebody noticed, hey, she has a broken leg. And they tried to
Really?
accuse my father-in-law of abusing her, and he obviously knows that he didn't do it, and she didn't fall at the home. And we think that somebody at the hospital was transferring her from the bed to the chair and dropped her.
Oh, okay.
And subsequently she broke her leg, and they didn't realize, or they wanted to hide it or whatever. And she developed bruising, and they took her in for surgery, put her on a ventilator, induced a coma, discovered she had COVID,
Oh, my God.
and 2 days later she's dead. So
Wow, that's
Um,
terrible.
but it has been, yeah, she hasn't been able to speak to anybody for probably 2 months. But my wife obviously is distraught because she's lost her mom. But it's been crazy. So anybody out there that has had COVID and survived, I thank you. I'm glad you did. Be thankful to everybody that you are still around.
I
Myself,
did the stroke thing and COVID and fell out of a chair at the
Oh.
atrium.
so I'm not gonna laugh at anybody for being old and sick and
That's watching here,
alive.
big boy.
So,
I resemble that remark.
but you're not dead, and we're happy about that.
Yeah.
You're also not 80 years
Not
old.
more than others, yeah.
So, um,
So what hospital was she at?
I really can't even remember. Bethesda comes to mind, but as my father-in-law said, the nurses are all protecting each other, and they won't admit who dropped her. So
No, that will never happen.
yeah, they just will not admit who dropped her. So it's just to the point now, it's just pissing us all off. So but they've known for 5 years that she wasn't expected to live for another 2 years, and then she lived longer and lived longer. And I think that my father-in-law Jim will probably blame the hospital for the rest of his life. But the truth is that we were lucky to have her as long as we did. So
Yeah.
it just is what it is. So
It is what it is.
So has everybody gotten their vaccines?
I'm halfway.
You're halfway. That means you have 1 out of 2?
I had the second one yesterday.
You had the second one list? I had my second Moderna a week ago tomorrow. In other words, last Friday.
Did you have any side effects from it?
Actually, I did. My wife and my son-in-law didn't have any effects from it at all, but it kind of knocked me out for the first 4 or 5 hours after I had it, but it was like nothing. Then all of a sudden I began to feel real crappy, and whatever the politically correct term for that is. And I started to get a fever. I ended up with about 4 degrees of fever. But 24 hours later it was gone. So 36 hours after I had the injection, I was right as rain, no problem. My
Yeah.
wife had zero effect except for a little bit of soreness where they
Moderna
injected.
also.
I'm sorry?
Also Moderna. The Moderna vaccine or the Pfizer.
I had Moderna.
And they also Moderna.
Hey,
You
Ray,
had Moderna today?
No,
They're
I had.
saying they're pointing, some people are having strokes. They're pointing at COVID-19 as a cause. They're saying that may have been what happened to me.
Mm,
So you had your stroke post having the first injection?
I had the stroke in October, so I had no injection. And when they took me in for my stroke, they tested me for COVID, and I came up positive.
Oh, so you had COVID prior to your stroke then?
Probably so. Yeah. And they're
Mm.
saying it's becoming more and more obvious that there may be a connection between strokes and COVID. Yeah.
there is.
So that's not a connection between the vaccine and the stroke. It's
No.
between the COVID and the stroke.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And you've had one injection so far, Jim?
Yes. I had one. We'll get our second one next week.
And that is Pfizer or COVID?
Yeah,
Or,
Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
Okay. And you and Vicente, you had Pfizer?
Pfizer, yeah.
Where did you get yours?
In Duke Convention Center in downtown.
Okay.
My daughter in Washington today, she has the Moderna, and she felt bad now after a couple of hours. She feel
So that's the first one or the second one? First one or second?
The first one.
Uh-huh.
She's 24 years old. So, but people say that Moderna sometimes is worse than the Pfizer in terms of the effect after the vaccine. I felt nothing in any of the two shots, you know. Not even pain in the place. Maybe they use a placebo with me. A placebo.
So Leroy, did you get an injection yet?
Nope.
She will be the last one.
I am. I don't get flu shots. I'm not real sure I want to do a COVID shot. That's
You don't want to have the chip
mm,
let's
I don't know if I'm going to go as far as be all conspiracy theory, but I'm not so sure that I really want. I don't do flu shots. I don't know.
Our family's pretty religious about it because I lost a sister to flu about 30 years ago. So we take it extremely seriously.
I take the flu every year also.
Yeah, I take the flu shot every year also.
Yeah. My dad does, but my mom doesn't, and my sister doesn't, and I don't. So I don't know.
So Ken, have you had your shot yet or not?
I signed up for it, got a time for it, and then I had to cancel out. I had a foot operation, and I didn't want to do two things at once. So I've got to re-sign up for it. Kroger, and they just down the street. That's where I'll get it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
So how'd the foot come out?
It's debatable.
Debatable.
Uh,
Ask him.
I'm limping around on it, but I don't go off that. I stay home for 3 or 4 days, go out Wednesday for pick up my Kroger food. They put it in the back of the car, come home. I stop the mail. I've kind of gone into the bunker here. There's no flu here, okay?
So do you have a crutch that you go around on?
I had a crutch, and now I got a cane. Jim has provided me a cane I could limp around on. I had a boot that hurt me, so I had to go get they call it a medical shoe, and that's post-op. So I limp on that outside. So, but I don't. It's I'm still traveling on the gas I bought back in January for $2.02.
Very good.
Wish I could say that.
So I still got another 50 miles on that tank. It might last me April, I think. Close. So Friday afternoon is the time to sign up for Kroger. They put it on their website about 6:30, somewhere around there, and it's wide open. You can pick any time you want, but give it by 7 o'clock, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's more people out there now that are eligible to get it. So, yeah, that's okay. So.
Well, I think it's everybody over 16 now, isn't it? Or is that yet to happen?
Yes. Over 16.
So it's basically wide open right now.
Yeah.
Which is good. Let people sign up for it and get it. So, but most of my friends have gotten the first shot. All my friends have gotten the first shot, and most of them got the second shot.
So do you have a choice at Kroger which one you get?
Basically, no. Whatever they get. I will turn down the Johnson & Johnson. I don't want that.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah. The other two, okay. Johnson & Johnson,
Well, they're having real quality problems right now, so probably a good strategy.
Yeah.
So Ray, you're over 16. Have you signed up yet?
No, I'm pretty sure I have had COVID, and I think that if you've had it, might as well be a vaccination. I mean, am I wrong there?
You're wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I saw my leg doctor, and he had COVID back in October, and he told me he was going to get the shot. I said, okay. Could be wrong.
Vicente, you're saying that you can get it multiple times, or you're getting different strains, or you're getting the same thing multiple times?
I don't know. I read that there were people that had COVID for second time, but I read it a month ago. But nothing is the information is too different from different sources. Everyone has an opinion. I have friends that are doctors, and everyone have different opinions. So,
well, I think the data is pretty dynamic right now. I mean, it changes daily, so to speak.
We are learning about it. Maybe.
Well, it's not like the polio. The polio, you got the sugar cubes. You took that 3 times. That was it. Now it's done. This one, you're gonna have to get a booster shot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think so. Yeah,
well, it's very much like the Asian flu. You get an annual booster shot for.
Yep.
Now, you got the sugar cube. I got the injection, which is the Salk vaccine. The Sabine vaccine was the sugar cube.
Yeah.
And then later on, they decided I should have the Sabine vaccine. So I had both. But I only had to do 1 sugar cube. I didn't have to do 3.
We did 3. But
What,
yeah,
what time frame was that? 1950s?
no, it was in 60s. It
60s.
was 64, 62, somewhere in there.
Yeah, close to that. I have the sugar cube.
This was,
64.
I think I got the injection when the Salk vaccine first came out in like 52 or 53. And then a year or so later, we got the Sabine vaccine, which was,
The sugar.
but it was I was well done before 55, I'll put it that way. But they were panicked in those days. You couldn't go swimming in the summer and so forth and so on. There was a lot of hysteria. And of course, a lot of people got polio.
People
so,
getting sick.
yeah, they're getting very sick.
Yeah.
And it was kids getting sick. It wasn't generally adults getting sick. So, you know, you got even more hysteria, so to speak.
Down
Well,
to,
what was with the beer and wine truck there?
we're down to 17 seconds.
Well, you have a police car in front of your house.
Home delivery.
Home delivery.
All right. I'll see
All right.
everybody. I'll see everybody in the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, take care.